My big dream just became a nightmare, and it ended up I couldn't pay it.
No, but and there is protection.
It is?
Yeah. But me as a lawyer, I'm thinking that was in the fine print. It's tough out there.
It's really tough.
It's really tough.
A few years ago, I had this great idea, which I believed in so much. I was about to start a web shop selling yoga products, which I did. But it required one thing. To do that, I had to take a private loan. And it was a big risk for me back then. It was $25,000. So for me, young, my first company, but I felt I had to do this because it was supposed to be really good business. So I was going to get the money back easy. So the first year went all good. I bought the products, I started the business, and everything went good. And I could pay the loan. But after a few years, it took me by storm because the interest was getting higher and higher and the fees were just plus every month. And it ended up I couldn't pay it. So my big dream just became a nightmare. So I remember thinking like, oh, could this even be legal? Just to pay this much in interest from nothing? Because this was not what I was agreeing on from the beginning. Imagine being your first company. And is it illegal or is it legal?
Of course, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
Complete
it is.
Nightmare.
I lost everything.
And I mean, there are loan sharks who prey on young, naive dreamers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nightmare.
Been there and done that.
Yeah, so I feel you. No, but, and there is protection.
It is?
Yeah.
I could have known that.
Yeah, perhaps. We don't know if it's applicable.
No.
Let's help you out when you can use it. Because it is illegal in many jurisdictions, including most states in the US, to charge too high an interest. That's called usury.
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 A new word for me, definitely.
Yeah. So that's a law that says, in some jurisdictions, it says a disproportionately high interest, using somebody's ignorance and desperate situation is unlawful if you give them a loan with a interest that they will never able to pay back, really.
No, it went through the roof.
Yeah. And in other states and jurisdictions, it will be specific amounts. So it can say that 12%, 25%, etc. That's a specific amount that you cannot go over. So then you have protection.
Yes.
So it is illegal to charge too high an interest.
Okay, but is it common that like banks or lenders have high interest even though it's a usury?
It's very common with loan sharks. And as regards banks, they might not be included in the usury law. And that's not because they can do whatever they want to their consumers. It's because they have other types of regulation and consumer protection. So you will still, banks are typically more serious. So you know those consumer loans or even payday loans, which is loans that you use to kind of bridge until your next salary. Those are typically not your well-established banks, right?
Okay.
Those are typically more shady.
So what should you ask your lender so you don't end up like after 2 years as me, the interest are like gaining? Can you say, is this going to be the same interest for all the period or how do you ask about it?
So number one, we can give you two checklists. We'll start with number one. Do you have a loan where you feel that you're dying under the interest?
Yeah.
So then we want to know, number one, have you taken the loan as a private person or is it a business? Because in most jurisdictions, only you as a private person, as a consumer, will be protected, not a business. It can be different, but most likely. And most of the loan sharks will want you personally to take the loan because then they can go over after all of your assets, right? Like your house and your paycheck. Yeah, it's tough.
Sweaty.
Yeah. So number two, if we clear that will be check the usury laws in your jurisdiction, in your state. What are they? And they will be, it's quite easy to find them out just because you will have these consumer agencies funded by the government that provide information. So find out. And if you see that the interest is too high, you can contact your lender, confront them, or you can directly seek help through the authorities or seek legal advice to try and get out of the loan. Because if the interest is illegally high, they have no right to claim it from you.
Okay, so that's really good to know.
Yeah. And if you don't have that loan, you're on the verge, you're considering, you're either sitting there having the possibility to take that loan to start a business. Number one, read the fine print. Because I hear you saying that the interest changed, but me as a lawyer, I'm thinking that was in the fine print.
It could have been.
You agreed upon it. I'm going to be sure about that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
Yeah. And often it will be layered in a way that's not easy for you to read because it will be compounded interest. It might be fees. So in disguise, I mean, the total cost might not be that clear for you to calculate. And compounded interest is horrible. We did this episode about mutual funds.
Yes, exactly.
Where you can see how much you can profit through having a low fee, right? This is the other way around. So it can be really tricky. So make sure you understand. If you don't understand, don't take the loan.
No. Otherwise, you learn the hard way.
Yeah. Again, seek help.
Yeah.
So if you see that this is a loan that is way too expensive for me or I don't understand it, look for alternatives. Do Google and find out what's the usury law, applicable usury law for you. And see, can I find any alternatives? And if you don't, perhaps you should refrain. What's the reason that you're so desperate to get that loan? And are you going to use it for something that you can have a security that it's better to take the loan, like real estate or some asset that has some value? Or is it a consumer loan? You just want to get that beautiful handbag or go traveling? Then even more so, be mindful, be mindful, be mindful.
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
It's really tough.
It's really tough.
And they want to lend you the money due to the interests, of course. So being young and naive, read the fine prints.
Read the fine prints and do look up. In particular, if you have taken a private loan from somebody who seems so nice in the beginning, but then you feel, oh, this is rubbing me the wrong way. This is a loan shark. Then look at the usury laws. Make sure that the loan is even legal, even enforceable. Because if not, seek legal advice and get out.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I could have been using this information a few years
ago. And that's why we're doing this. So,
yes.
And ask you questions. We're here.
We're here for you, as always. This is not legal advice, it's knowledge sharing. And this episode is also powered by LE Fitness.
Hej då!
Hej då!